How to quit your job in 2022 and why you must watch this video before you quit. The Great Resignation. It's plastered all over the news. It's everywhere. Social media. You see your friends and your coworkers quitting their jobs. People you used to know from high school. You come into work and hear another member of your team has quit, and it's hard not to get swept up in the moment and the excitement and act on your impulse to throw in the towel and search for your dream job or business. But are you ready to make the jump? You don't want to make this decision impulsively and be over-influenced by social pressures and social media and those around you. That's not the way to do it. In this video, I'm going to share with you my personal experience and what happened to me when I quit my job 10 years ago. And I'm going to share with you the top 5 things you need to consider before you quit your job. Hey, you're back with Michael Santonato. I'm a financial advisor and financial consultant and cryptocurrency investor, and I traded in my 9-to-5 10 years ago, before I got into crypto, to start my own business. And I now live virtually in Mexico. Welcome to the channel, the place where you can learn about investing, cryptocurrency, everything personal finance, and securing your financial future. Today we're going to be talking about quitting your job, when you should do it, and what you need to know before you do it. And I've been there. I traded my 9-to-5 and I'm now self-employed, and I live, as I said, in Mexico. I have 3 different businesses. I have a lot of different investments and assets, and it was not a simple transition, but it is possible for many of you. However, to make the transition smooth, you need to be thoughtful. Quitting your job is not a decision you should make impulsively, and you should have a plan. Before we dive into how to decide if now is the right time to quit your job, let's look at why so many people are leaving their jobs across Canada and America. In 2020, not that long ago, as the pandemic began, we saw massive layoffs. However, as we start 2022, the tables have turned. Millions of people have decided that they did not want to return to their office or even working from home full-time, as companies began calling them back. The simple reason for this is there are a lot of open slots and not a lot of applicants. Many people see this and know that now is a great time to negotiate for more pay or a new role altogether. That said, there are a few things you should consider before quitting your job, especially if you don't have another job lined up. When I left my 9-to-5, there were not a lot of resources around the web to help me navigate the process at the time. So here we've put together a list of things that I wish someone made me think about before I quit my job. Number 1, consider the worst possible situation and how you can avoid it. Get out your notepad or notes app and make a list of problems and solutions. Think about the worst possible thing that could happen if you did quit your job. For example, maybe you're worried you won't be able to pay your rent or your mortgage. You think you don't have enough savings to cover your bills. Once you have your problems listed in one column, then think about the solutions to these problems. If you're worried you can't pay your rent, maybe you can move back in with your parents or family or a friend in the short term. If you are worried about not being able to make mortgage payments, then have some more money saved and look at if you can invest any or divest any investments that you have, meaning liquidate them. If you think your savings won't cover your bills, make sure you have an emergency fund to cover everything you need for 3 months before you quit, or decide you'll take on something part-time before you search for a new role. Once you have solutions to all your problems, they won't seem so big anymore, and you'll avoid panicking as they do arise, and you'll be prepared for them. If you can't find solutions to the problems, or they're not solutions you're willing to take, then maybe it's a sign to stick with your current job a bit longer until you have all the solutions to all your problems. Number 2, ensure your own financial security. The biggest downfall that many who quit their jobs on impulse experience is not having enough money to support themselves. It's like literally walking off of a boat without a raft or another boat being at the bottom there to catch them. You do need a safety net. You will want and need a safety net. You might find a job the very next week, but you might also spend months interviewing for the role that you want and the perfect job, and you want to be able to do this without panicking or going through a stressful roller coaster of how you can pay your bills. Take an inventory of your spending, your obligations, and the different factors that you might have to make up for if you leave a job, so you can plan to still have security. Obviously consider rent, gas, groceries, car payments, insurance payments. You still need internet, phone bill, electricity, water, maybe home insurance, and public transport if you don't own a car. Also, of course, there's gifts and entertainment and any luxury items like Netflix, Spotify, or your craft subscription beer box, or food delivery, organic meat delivery service. You might have to cut the fat and trim the excess. So calculate all your outgoings items per month. Multiply it by 3. That's the amount you want to have in your bank before you quit your job. And even a little bit more for unexpected things like car repairs or home repairs if needed. Most importantly, understand why you want to leave your job. This is number 3. Why do you want to leave? Give it some real thought. Did you have a petty fight with someone, or is your office uncomfortable? Make sure it's significant. Is the culture the wrong fit, the environment, that sort of thing? You need to ask yourself what the problem is with your job, and is it worth leaving your job with benefits, paid time off, vacation paid? Is it worth it to find something really remote? And are you up for that challenge? Because there will be challenges and there will be stress. I've been living in Mexico now for over 10 months and I love it, I enjoy it, but I've also got friends that support me and family and people who love me and people who care about me, and I've done this experiment before 3 weeks in Brazil, and so this was not a brand new all or nothing, leave it. I had experience beforehand and friends who were doing it for a few years that I could turn to. So you want to make sure you have that. If you are dissatisfied with something in your job, realize that it's not necessarily going to be greener on the other side. You still have to work, you'll still have to put in hours, you'll still have to build something, and you'll still have to earn an income. Now is not the time to think that the whole world is going to change and that money's just going to be left at your doorstep in bags and in droves. It doesn't work that way. So take the time to write down why you want to leave. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and seeing all your friends do it and stuff like that, but it might not be a bigger issue as you thought. It might not be as big of an issue as you thought, rather. However, at the end, you may realize that you have a lot of grievances that could be probably solved with communication if you did just maybe talk them out with HR or your management. Beyond simply writing why you want to leave, it's also worth writing a list of why you should stay. Think about the benefits that your job brings that may be hard to find elsewhere, such as mentorship, job security, health and dental plan, and a team that you collaborate with on a number of things. Number 4, consider those who are dependent upon your income. It's important to think about who else would be affected by this change. Is it your parents, your partner, your kids, or even a dog that relies on your income because things cost money? And talk through your decision with your parents, your significant other, friends, or coach, or mentor, or doorman, even if you want. Saying things out loud always helps me and will definitely help you work through your decision. However, you should not let others influence your decision too much. If they're financially dependent upon you, then yes, please consider them, but ultimately this is your decision to make. Don't decide to leave or quit because of someone else. It seems that women especially tend to make decisions about themselves to please others, although men do that too, speaking from experience. So ask yourself, who am I doing this for? Myself, or seeking the approval of someone else? Number 5, the last one, take advantage of your benefits while you have them. We talked about the things you have to cover when you quit your job in tip number 2, how there may be some additional ones such as health and dental or things like that. And if your job currently covers them, then definitely take advantage. If you're pretty set on quitting your job, then use them before you lose them. Go get your cavity filled, get checkups for your doctor or any other medical or dental items. And if you have any unused vacation days, then take them. See, he thinks that's a good idea. That's why he's honking. It's also a good idea to check who you can ask for a reference before you leave. You may be leaving at a time when other staff are parting ways. And my aunt Margaret always left a job with a reference letter. So when she would move on to the next job, she had a whole slew of reference letters to carry her forward into the next one. So your manager or your higher up may be irritable about you leaving, but you want to go part ways on a good term always. Never burn your bridges. Always keep people and the relationships that can serve you in good places. You always want a great recommendation or referral that you can share with your new job, your new manager, or clients if you're starting another business. So those are my 5 things to consider before quitting your job in 2022. Learn from my mistakes. I did get reference letters. I did use up the benefits. However, I did not have a complete picture and plan, and I did leave without I could have done better, just being honest with you. I had a lot of investments and savings to cushion me before I left, so you want that too, but I definitely could have done a better job, and so I'm sharing that with you here. If you like this video, then please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. And I want to turn it over to you now. Are you thinking of quitting your job in 2022? What are your reasons for wanting to quit, and what is holding you back? Let me know by leaving a comment below. And adios from sunny Mexico.